At the beginning of the story, we see a security guard named H, who was delivering a large sum of money to a bank with his partner, Bullet. Suddenly, their truck was stopped and tear gas was released inside. After all this, as soon as H got out of the truck, the thugs were terrified of him and fled, abandoning the truck. Bullet told his other colleagues that something was definitely wrong with this guy. The thugs ran away as if they had seen a ghost. About 2 weeks earlier, a man named Patrick Hill had come to interview for a job at this company. This company provides security for people who handle large cash transactions. They are responsible for safely transporting money from one place to another. Terry, who holds a high position in the company, was quite impressed with Patrick's resume. "You've done some very good work," he said, "but you need to understand how dangerous this job is." About 5 months ago, one of our vans, full of money, was on a delivery. Suddenly, it was stopped in the middle of the road. It looked like some road repairs were underway. The workers placed a truck in front of the van, and thieves dressed as construction workers surrounded the van. They broke down one of the van's doors and threw a grenade inside, injuring and killing both the driver and the security guard on the spot. The thieves quickly loaded all the money into their vehicle and sped away. After this, Terry asked him if he still wanted the job after hearing all this, to which Patrick agreed. That's when Bullet entered and met Patrick for the first time. He said, "Your name here will be H. Don't tell anyone your real name." And with that, his 60-hour training began. A 70% score was required in this training. If he scored less, he wouldn't keep the job. H scored only the minimum required to pass in all the tests. His bullets hit only the outer ring of the target, as if he was deliberately aiming there to get just the minimum score. During the driving test, he drove perfectly well, but at the end, while reversing, he hit some boxes. Bullet introduced H to his team, called Formula One. They use strange names so that no one knows anyone else's real identity. These people are involved in transporting large sums of money from one place to another. That's why they don't use their real names, so that no one can exploit any of their weaknesses. After this, H was given all his weapons so he could start his work. Dave and his partner John were preparing to transport a very large package. Bullet was also supposed to go with them, but at the last minute, he replaced John with H. Dave told H that he couldn't imagine how dangerous this job was, to which H replied, "However dangerous it is, I'll handle it, okay?" Now the three of them got into the truck and set off to deliver the money. During their conversation, Dave said that he was on duty in the truck that was robbed 5 months ago, but by chance he had taken leave, which is why someone else had to go, and his life was saved. Otherwise, he wouldn't be sitting here today. To this, H asked him why he had taken leave. He suspected that someone from inside was involved in the robbery. Dave said that the police had already questioned him about this. He had drunk a little too much the previous day. That's why he couldn't come to the office. While talking, they reached a building from where they had to pick up 2 million. He took Bullet H with him for the pickup to see if he was all talk or if he could actually do the job. After picking up the money, they quickly returned to their depot. There was a lot of security there. Every person working in this depot has to go through a security check. After returning to the depot, everyone went to their rooms to rest. Before going there, H carefully checked the ID cards of all the workers and then went into the room. Inside, the conversation was about how H doesn't talk much. A company member came to him and tried to find out more about H. He asked H where he worked before. H said that he worked for a large company in Europe. He ended the conversation there and told the man to leave. This man was very offended by H's behavior, and after this incident, everyone became very suspicious of H. The next day, H, Dave, and Bullet went to deliver a small amount, but there Bullet was taken hostage, and they demanded the $2 million that was in the truck. Dave was very frightened by this incident and said that according to the depot rules, they should leave from there. They would free Bullet themselves. But the people who had taken Bullet hostage directly threatened that if either of them left, they would kill Bullet. There would be no negotiations with anyone right now. H told Dave that both of them would have to face the enemies. It would be best to pay the money and get Bullet released. Bullet's life is more precious than money, and the kidnappers started forcing Dave to bring the money. The kidnappers gave Dave complete instructions on where to go. Upon arriving there, a car was parked in front, and a truck also arrived from behind. The kidnappers got out of the car. The man pulled out a gun, He told Dave directly to put all the money in the truck parked behind them and not to try anything clever. H took responsibility for transferring the money from one truck to the other and told Dave to stay calm. H started throwing all the money from his truck into the other one. The gun had been pulled out so that if anyone tried anything, they would kill them. H deliberately threw one bag outside instead of inside the truck. After that, a kidnapper came out to put the bag in the truck. Then H cleverly pulled out his gun and shot him. After that, he very calmly, in a completely heroic style, killed all the kidnappers one by one, as if he had a lot of experience in this kind of work. During training, his shots had landed in the outermost circle, but now he had shot everyone right between the eyes. Following the kidnapper's boss, H reached a warehouse. He directly asked the kidnapper, "Who do you work for?" The man wasn't giving a straight answer, so H, frustrated, shot him. Bullet and Dave came from behind and were stunned to see how H had wiped out the entire gang, all by himself. After this incident, the police started interrogating H, wondering if he was a secret agent from another country, given how easily he had wiped out the entire gang. To this, H said, "No, sir, nothing like that. I just got lucky. All the shots accidentally hit the target." After this, the police showed H the video of the initial robbery. After watching it, H said that he didn't know anything about it. He wasn't even working for this company at that time. When H came out, his senior told him that he would have to do a desk job for a month because it was company policy. "We don't want you to get depressed and do something wrong." H asked his senior, "Do I look depressed to you?" Just then, the company owner arrived and started praising H. He told the senior, "The company needs people like him. Does he look like someone who sits at a desk all day? He's a real go-getter." Then the police officer who was talking to H called his senior and told him that this was the person the Bureau had been looking for 25 years. But the boss said, "Don't take any action for now and let him do what he's doing." The officer said, "If knowing everything, you let him stay here and something goes wrong, the department will be disgraced." But his boss said, "Nothing like that will happen. He didn't come here for money. Let him do whatever he came here to do." Now a woman came to meet H and gave him a file. This file contained the date of all the company's employees and also someone's post-mortem report. After carefully examining all the files, H became suspicious of a security guard named Diana and secretly broke into her house. He asked Diana some questions at gunpoint. Seeing the cash in Diana's house, he asked, "Where did you get so much money?" Diana had stolen this money from a liquor store so that it would be useful to her after retirement. Diana said, "I've done something like this for the first and last time in my life." After that, H asked her, "If you know anything, tell me. Otherwise, if I find out later, it won't be good for you." To which Diana denied knowing anything, and H just let him go with a warning. Then we go back in time 5 months. H was going somewhere with his son, Dougie. That's when he received a call from a man named Mike. Mike is the same man who had tried to rob a truck some time ago and then ran away after seeing H. Mike wanted to find the location of a Fortico company truck. Mike had sent someone else to do this job, but that person had an accident on the way, and now the job was given to H. H and his son arrived at the Fortico depot in their car. Leaving his son in the car, H went out under the pretext of getting food so he could keep an eye on the Fortico truck. H only had to tell Mike whether the truck would go down the right or left road. After telling Mike the location and direction, H hung up the phone and went back to his son with the food. Just then, as the Fortico truck went a little further and reached under a bridge where H's car was also parked, the truck was attacked. The thieves were about to leave after looting all the money from the truck. But then they noticed H's son, who had witnessed the robbery and had now become an eyewitness to the crime. It was necessary to eliminate this witness, so one of the thieves went there and shot H's son dead. H was running towards the thief when another thief fired many bullets at him. H fell down injured, but he clearly saw and recognized the thief's face. H survived the accident, but his son died. H's wife blamed him for their son's death, and here we learn that H is the leader of a very large gang, and the people who robbed the truck and killed his son belong to a different gang. After this incident, H's wife left him forever. Following this, H put all the members of his gang to work finding the other gang. H's gang began rounding up and eliminating all the gangs in the surrounding area. They tried their best to find out who was behind all this, but they couldn't find anything. When they ran out of options, Mike suggested that it might be the work of an insider or even one of Vertigo's own guards. H said he was very upset and wanted to go to London for a few days to get away from everything and clear his head. But in reality, H was busy creating a fake identity and chose the name Patrick Hill for his new ID. At the same time, H obtained his son's autopsy report. We then see a gang whose members were formerly part of the military but are now thieves. Their leader's name is Jackson. The man who killed H's son, named Jen, is also part of this gang. This gang was planning a major heist targeting a company that transports cash. They learned from an insider at Vertigo that $5 million was being transported in a truck. And this was the same robbery where H's son was killed. 5 months after this incident, Jackson gathered his entire gang and began planning another dangerous heist to steal $50 million from the same company, Ford. There's one day of the year called Black Friday when Vertigo has a huge amount of cash on hand. A few days later, H and Bullet were on their way to the depot with the money when Bullet told H, "I'm actually the one who's been giving all the information to these thieves." Bullet was also previously part of Jackson's gang and had been working at the company for a long time to feed information to Jackson's gang. Bullet told H, "You seem like a capable man. Join me and I'll make you rich." H had been waiting for this news for a long time. H immediately agreed to help him. Bullet parked the truck in a secret location from where they could carry out the rest of their plan. Some thieves were already hiding in the truck with them. After this, H and Bullet drove the truck to the depot. The thieves immediately entered the depot and, as soon as they got out of the truck, they took all the security guards and officers present there hostage. However, in the midst of all this, one guard managed to trigger the security alarm so that the police would know that a robbery was taking place inside the depot. With the alarm sounding, the police were sure to arrive at the depot. Seizing the opportunity, the remaining security guards attacked these men. But Jackson's gang quickly overpowered them all. Jackson's gang was wearing bulletproof jackets. H had already been taken hostage and kept separately. Seeing his chance, H attacked the thieves and put on their bulletproof armor. Now dressed in their clothes, he came out as a member of the gang. At the same time, Bullet revealed his true colors and quickly killed Dave and Diana. Now only Jackson, Bullet, and Jane were left alive from this gang. But Jackson was also shot during the firing and was now seriously injured. These three somehow managed to get the truck full of money out of the depot and, cutting through the police cars parked outside, crossed the road and went into a garage. There were some underground tunnels beneath this garage. Jackson was very injured at this time, and he also suspected that Jane wanted to kill them and run away with all the money herself. Because of this, Jackson tried to point his gun at Jane, but Jane snatched Jackson's gun and slit his throat. Now Jane and Bullet, with all the money, reached a car through this tunnel on their bikes. They loaded all the money into the car, but both of them had ulterior motives. Before Bullet could pull out his gun and kill Jane, Jane shot Bullet first and, taking all the money, safely escaped through the tunnel. He felt free now. Jane was relaxing in his flat. As he came out of the bathroom and approached the table, a phone started ringing, which was lying among the bags full of money. As soon as Jane picked up the phone, he realized that H had also arrived at his house. This was H's plan to find out Jane's location. H told him that the child he had killed that day was his son. He showed him his son's post-mortem report, which stated that his son had died due to a gunshot wound to his internal organs. And then H killed Jane in the same way he had killed Dougie. After this, H came outside where an FBI chief was waiting for him. H handed over all the money to the FBI. Now, having completed his work, H got into the car and drove away. If you liked the video, please like it. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.